Hi, my name is Matt Roll and I'm principal here at Vinci Tree Academy. This video is being put together to inform our parents and guardians about 2 additional policies that Vinci Tree staff has put together to benefit our kids. Since the 2020 school year, we've seen a change in our student population that hasn't always been positive. This change really centers mostly around attendance and effort. And so in order to correct this not necessarily positive change that we're seeing in attendance, we've developed this new set of attendance policies. First, kids need to come to school. It's important. That's why we're here, right? Of course I'm going to say that. I'm a school principal, right? What we're seeing, however, is extreme instances of truancy, okay? Extreme instances of kids not showing up to school. And so because of that, we are putting together new consequences for when kids don't show up to school. So I'm going to grab my notes here and share that with you. So first up, if at any point during the year a student misses a full month of instruction, that's 20 days. So if a student misses a full month of instruction, the school will send them a warning note. And so you will, as a parent, if your student misses a full month of instruction during the course of the year, your student will receive a warning from the school. Next, if by the halfway point in the year, if your student has missed 5 full weeks of instruction, that's 25 days, okay, then your student will be strongly considered for a mid-year demotion to the grade beneath them. So again, that means if you have a 4th grader who's missed 5 weeks of school by the midway point in the year, they will be strongly considered for a demotion down to 3rd grade. Or, if not a demotion, the student will be considered for community service. So Arizona is one of 13 states that allows schools like Vinci Tree to use community service as a method for keeping kids on track. And so we'd either be looking at a mid-year demotion of the student, or your student would be considered for community service, which would include Saturday school. So we'd have academic lessons on Saturday, and they'd have litter duty, so they'd have to pick up the trash, and they might have groundskeeping duty to help like pull the weeds and things like that. And so that is if by the midway point in the year, a student misses 5 full weeks of instruction. Again, we're looking at the most extreme cases of truancy. Next, if by the end of the year, a student is missing 2.5 full months of instruction. This might sound a little crazy, but again, we are seeing this kind of truancy. Okay, so if a student by the end of the year is missing 2.5 months of instruction, then the student will be strongly considered for grade level retention, meaning again, if you have that 4th grader who missed 2.5 months of instruction, they'll be considered to stay at 4th grade unless their grades are above a 70%. So they have to be higher than a C, their core academic grades. And or they would be considered for that community service. Now finally, we have one more level, okay? If by the end of the year, the student is missing 3.5 months of instruction, then the student will automatically be retained at grade level and considered for community service. And so again, this is to address the most extreme cases of truancy and the most extreme cases of, I guess, bad attendance, and to make sure that our students really understand that it is important to go to school. Now, showing up is half the battle. I don't know if you've heard that before, but that's an old saying that I used to hear a lot when I was a kid. Showing up is half the battle. So that's the first half. The second half has to do with effort and work. And so this second policy really only applies for the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. Those are the only grades that we're doing this in. And it is the academic expulsion policy. Now let me be extremely clear. Vinci Tree Academy supplies copious amounts of support for all of our students. We offer over 180 days in which we supply free tutoring and study hall. So that's no cost to our families, over 180 days of tutoring and study hall every year. We provide a free Saturday program that you can bring your child to and get additional tutoring. If you add up all the time for tutoring and study hall that we offer for free every year, it's something like 300 hours. No other school in Tucson that I've heard of offers anything like that. If a student at Vinci Tree is trying, if they're showing up and putting in the effort, there's literally no way for them to not pass There's literally no way for them to fail. Now, if a 6th, 7th, or 8th grade student by the halfway point in the year is averaging a 40% or less, which means that they're either A, not coming to school, or B, they're coming to school and they're sleeping. This is literally a problem for middle school classes, and it's not unique to Da Vinci. We have some kids who come in and they think it's nap time. They think it's a daycare. We need those kids to understand how important it is to work. If you went to a job every day and you took a nap, you would not keep that job for very long. If you go to high school every day and you take a nap, you're gonna drop out, you're not gonna pass. And so we need to catch these kids in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and really imbue upon them the importance of work. And so if these kids are getting to the halfway point in the year and they're averaging 40% or less in their core academic subjects, we're giving them a performance plan, and they have 2 weeks. So they have a 2-week period of time to bring up those grades with a very generous performance plan that we're offering them. And if they don't take that, then they will be expelled at the end of those 2 weeks. Now that's pretty extreme, I totally understand. But also, our kids' futures are not something that we're gambling with. We need our kids to know what it takes to be successful. And we need our kids to know that Da Vinci Tree is a serious place where we not only protect our kids and we provide them with resources, but we are serious about them getting the skills that they need to survive in the real world. Also, when our children are in a classroom with other students who think it's a joke, they begin comparing themselves with those other students. We have kids who are normally high-performing kids who get on honor roll. And after the 2020 school year, they've started comparing themselves with other children who come to school thinking it's playtime. And those students' grades have dropped too, because it's human nature to compare ourselves to those closest to us. And so we need these kids who are not taking it seriously to either start taking it seriously or to go somewhere else. Sometimes that's the hard truth. And it's not that we don't care. We care about all the kids in our community. But again, Da Vinci Tree is a special place for us to support and nurture our kids and help them become the very best that they can be. And that might sound trite, but it is true. That is what we're here for. And we want all of our parents to know and understand that. Anyway, as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. The information to contact us is below. Thank you so much for watching this video and understanding the new policies that we're implementing. Thank you.